Hi there, welcome everybody. Thank you, fellow subscribers and YouTubers. So today, I'm gonna try and replace this drip cutter on this little Firenza. What it resembles, it's a Firenza Can-Am, it resembles. You know, this was, back in the day, our South African muscle slash supercar. I mean, most people, when you want to beat up a supercar or something in the 70s, we had some of these. There was only 108 or something like that made, 100 road cars, and 8 or 10, I must be corrected on that, race cars. The race cars were all destroyed back in the day, leaving only the 100 road cars, which makes it quite rare. It was a 2.5 Firenza body that had a 302 cubic inch DZ small block V8 in it, with steel crank, 3-inch stroke, 4-inch bore, with a dunt-off cam and pop-up pistons. And man, these things could go. Let me get started. First things first, like you can see all the rot. I'm gonna start chopping this out to about here, and I've got donors. I took off a Opel Manta. Let's see if I can graft that in there with a bit of wigging and wagging. Let me start. Alright, now that I've chopped all this out, I'll start cleaning it up. These cars were synonymous with the name Basil van Rooyen. He was the brainchild behind this. He was the guy that approached GM South Africa, and GM and him spanned together, and they started creating these beauties. I mean, I can't honor him enough. He was a legend, and he built the most successful of all, I think, South African muscle cars. Let me start cleaning this up. Alright, now that I've got this relatively cleaned up, very disappointed actually, yeah. I'll have to plate and fix this. Or I can cut this and join it a bit bigger inside here, and then just put a little bit of strips in it, do it properly. Not getting too much heat on this body as well, because I don't want to, because heat causes also rut. Let me clean that up quickly. Alright, let me start by chopping this so I can fit it in here, and to curve it at the back here about. We'll get to that now. I guess I'm gonna cut it according to my eye. On the car we'll chop it and splice it in there and join it so you can't see it's been joined before, doing a proper job where I can. Yes, that should work. As you notice, I taper down a bit to the back. I'll probably shave a bit more so I can actually bend this to the curve when I'm there. Let me just measure from inside lip to there. I think I'm gonna do it like that. Let me mark it where I'm gonna cut it. See, if this wasn't what it was, I'd delete this whole drip rail and I'll cap the whole thing, shaving it. Because it is what it is, we don't go that route. Man, the opal had a lot of crud to it, but I don't want to grind it now because I'll battle to see my markings. Let me first cut it, grind everything clean so I can join us to that goal. Gonna be a lot of upside down welding as well again. I'm not afraid of it, it's just not fun getting burnt. The things we do for love. Alright, let me mark it. Well, I've got some flesh I can work with here. Ah, perfect. It's actually on where the curve needs to start. Alright. It's gonna work out. Gentle curve there. You'll notice I keep it long at the end here still. Only the front part. Because now after we curved it, it's gonna shrink at the back a bit. Should work this. Should. Ah, it's gonna be perfect. Okay. We quickly just take a hammer and curve this back end a bit in my trusty vise. Sorry. We go test it on the car. Like you can see, I curved it quite a bit. That's almost perfect. Need to curve here a bit. Yes. To curve this end a bit. Right. Right. Why I chose this piece of steel? It's not just because got the right lip and everything, but how Opel and how Firenza or Vauxhall made their roofs, how they joined together with the spot welds, everything. If I join this in grinded flush, it should still look original. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I'd be capping and I'd be making this thing from scratch. Seems perfect. All right. Let me see here. Chop that off. Okay, now that I've got it close, let me just mark for the pillar and trim it a bit, because I'm actually going to join it here on this line on the inside, and like I said, yeah, to cap everything together. Right. And then after this, all the fitment is working, I'll clean it and put something on the inside. Actually, I can reach it from inside here. I'll spray something later for rust, because man, that's poor cool. All right, it's got a bit of a gap, but I'll weld that. That's nothing. First things first, I'm gonna get it on the bottom and then work my way to the back. So this is sitting square where it should be about, and then we'll chop this rusted piece out and start joining it. Right, we clean this up first. Okay, let me quickly just start tacking this at the back section so we can get it to line up better and wiggle waggle it. There we go. Use my small hammer just to get it in shape. And a series of tacks, and then on top I can cut and tack in. And then I have to grind nicely. Also, and that's how we're gonna do, going inch by inch and playing with it a bit to get it to shape to the car, to the contour. This I'll profile it down a bit, but we've got our drip rail in. That's why I decided also I'm going to coat on from the inside where I've got gap, a room, because with all the heat, if I had to put the anti-rust, it would burn it away now. Use my G clamp, push it in a bit. Right, and let's nail it a bit. Until we get to here. It's not looking too shabby at the moment. Just massage this a bit. And like I said, then we'll chop on this line and join it with the original skin so it can be ground flush. While it's hot, it'd be a pity if me doing all the work and it all wouldn't fit afterwards. So let me, while it's hot, shape it as well. To the original shape. There we go. I know some guys would just fiberglass this thing. I don't work that way, sorry. I'd rather replace with steel and weld it as good as I can and grind it. I know it's going to be a lot of work, but we'll get it. Put my G-clamp here. There we go. Worst enemy on this is the heat. Like you can see, after I lobbed it, I stopped. Not to get too much heat on this, because the heat's going to cause fatigue, and fatigue's going to cause rust again. Okay. All right, let me quickly cut this so I can butt weld it like that, so the plates are flush when I grind this thing, so you can't really see it. Yeah, I had a big hole still there that I filled up. I think I'm going to fill up this hole also with filler rod and weld, but let me start from about here, where it's best. What I do is I want to angle the blade to get a bit between here, so when I push it down for the welds or the tacks, it can butt up flush. That's the best way to get a butt weld, basically, isn't it? Yeah, let me do that quickly. I think I'm just gonna cut for now. Right, it's like you can see she already started sinking in herself. Over here she's flush, so let me keep that way and the rest we'll play with. Okay, I don't want to run too much because it's too much heat already, but like you get the idea. Let me cut here also and start butt welding all this to keep it in place. Let me actually just butt weld it a bit more just to keep it nicely, and then we work to our back. Alright, let me quickly cut there so I can finish stacking all my places and then I can glue this together. This car's actually looking quite straight and good here. It's actually what I wanted. Alright, we shall win the war. Okay, let me quickly just panel beat it a bit. Right, basically there you have it. Okay, like you can see, got it fairly straight, got it flush, got a bit of a gap in the front because I did cut it a bit short, but this also will weld it and we'll pull it a bit. I think that looks pretty good. And then underneath I've got a couple of tags, but I'll glue it in with the welder full. And when I grind it, you wouldn't be able to tell the scar was repaired. Thank you everybody for watching. Let me glue this in and glue this together. Peace out. Please like and subscribe for more content on this. Rusty piles of junk. Thank you everybody. Peace out.